I'm glad you enjoyed my tipsy reaction video. It is 1 p.m. so I'm still drinking red, but it's a different kind. If I had to guess why you are watching this video right now, it would be because you're either using this information for preventative measures just in case you need this information in the future, or you're watching because something terrible has already happened and you're looking for guidance. Either way, thank you so much for choosing to spend the next few minutes with me. I really appreciate it. Today we are going to decode some hair color fails. So what went wrong, what could have been done to prevent it, and where to go next. If you have never seen my face before, hello, I'm Shannon, so nice to meet you. I'm a hairstylist based out of rural Midwest Illinois. I've been in the industry since 2008, and I also have a science degree in the field. And I am so excited to share some helpful advice with you today. If you are a professional, you can follow me on Instagram. I share hair color formulas, tips and tricks, lots of product knowledge, lots of fun science experiments, and just general industry merriment. If you enjoy this type of content, please give me a like, a comment, a subscribe, just so I know that you like it, because there is nothing worse than posting something on like Facebook or Instagram and nobody liking it. Be honest, who's literally deleted a photo because they didn't get enough likes? Okay, let's get started with today's fail. And play. Oh. And play. Play.
Let's do this potentially stupid and terrible thing. Hey guys, I don't know how long this is gonna take, so I'm just gonna jump straight in. I'm dyeing my hair blonde.
So the dye that she has picked is a permanent hair color. So what that means is it usually has an ammonia or an ammonia-like substance. If it says it's ammonia-free but is still claiming to be a permanent hair color, then the ingredient that they are most likely using is called monoethanolamine. It is very similar to ammonia. There are a few subtle differences between why you would choose one over the other, but the main reason is marketing, because people see ammonia-free and they automatically think it is better for them. So she is using an ammoniated hair color. It is not a bleach. She has chosen a very light shade, and we'll chat more about that shortly.
This has the potential to go horribly wrong. Let's just do it anyway. Guess we're in the bathroom. And if I screw it up, I can just chop it off.
That is true.
Simple. Funny did nothing. Like.
Okay, so she said that she used the exact same hair dye, which is not a bleach, it's a permanent hair color. She put it on her ends and it did nothing. And the reason that is, and I've already watched this video, this isn't a reaction video, it's more of a what went wrong video. So I've already seen this, and she did come to realize that color can't lift out color. And let me share why that is in a way that hopefully will make a little bit of sense. So a hair color is artificial dye, right? And when you put it on your head, it deposits in artificial dye, and it also can lift out your natural melanin pigment, which is the pigment in your hair that makes it whatever color you are. So permanent hair color can affect natural pigment while depositing artificial pigment. Now, what happens when you already have artificial pigment on your hair is if you were to put another color, permanent hair color, on top of it, it will still affect your natural pigment that's still in there, but it will not affect the artificial pigment that's in there previously. Because how can a product destroy artificial pigment while it's trying to put in artificial pigment? It would basically just be trying to destroy itself. So that is why hair color will not take out artificial hair color.
Can't lighten dark dye with light dye. You have to bleach it. So I went back to Shoppers Drug Mart, bleached the bottom of my hair. I have taken this orange color as a sign that the dark parts were bleached away. And I'm an expert, so respect my...
She does have good logic here. So she's just not quite there yet. So she does have really good logic here. She used a bleach to remove some of the artificial dye in hopes that the permanent hair color will then work. And that does work, just maybe not to, in her particular case, her dark color is a little bit too extreme for that to work. If she were to bleach it out a little bit more, then she would have had better luck. Okay, so she's mixing up the color. I do not know what volume of developer that the color came with. Since it's such a light color, it's a level 10, I think she said. I'm assuming it's a pretty high developer. However, it's really hard to know. And one key thing about hairstylists and when we formulate, the developer that we choose really does matter, and you don't get a choice of the developer when you pick up a box. For a general rule of thumb, 10 volume will lighten your hair 1 level, 20 volume will lighten your hair 2 levels, 30 volume will lighten your hair 3 levels, and 40 volume will lighten your hair 4 levels. Now, right now, she is at a level 5-ish. So even if she were to put 40 volume on her hair with the blonde dye, she would only really get to a level 9, which isn't the box that she picked out. So it's not always the number on the box, the level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's going to give you the result. It's the developer that you pair with it. The number is really just how much pigment is in the color. Most permanent hair colors have the same amount of ammonia or monoethanolamine no matter what level it is, and it's the volume of developer that you pair with it that gives it its lift. So a level 10 is simply going to have less pigment than a level 5.
Lighter. The thing is, I want it to be blonde. Like, this is not quite a match. I mean, almost. We're just...
Okay, so as you can see, the level 10 dye did not lift her to a level 10, and I just kind of explained why that is just previously. So she's a little dissatisfied and probably a little bit confused. So I hope my explaining of where the lift actually comes from is the developer, and where the amount of pigment actually comes from is the dye. In order for the developer to have any power, you need the ammonia in the dye to react with the developer to lift it, but the volume of developer depends on how much lift you're going to get. So it's a combination of 3 things in permanent hair color. You have the ammonia, you have the peroxide, which is developer, and you have the pigment. And all 3 of those things need to work in sync, I guess, for a result to come about that you are happy with. A lot of variables that come into play when formulating those 3 things, and it's just hard sometimes. So in this particular case, that is what went wrong. I'm assuming it is just because she had a little bit too much artificial dye still left on her hair, and the volume of developer is probably not what she needed. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any requests of videos that you want me to decode and see what happened and how to fix it, leave those requests down below. So what was your biggest aha moment out of this video? Leave it down below. What was your biggest takeaway, the #1 thing you learned? I would love to hear it. Congratulations, you made it all the way to the end of the video, so let's celebrate. I am going to share a maybe unknown fact. I am a mom. I actually have an 8-year-old. I know that I don't look much past 8 years old myself, but we can just blame that on the baby face. I do have a little blonde-haired boy named Jackson who is in 3rd grade. Also, I heard you about my lighting and my white balance. I don't know if this is better, but I tried to wear a darker shirt and put darker things behind me because you were like, all right, like you're white and your shirt's white and your background's white and we can't see you. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it and we'll chat later. Bye.